Your headline, I think that'd be amazing. I think when Dakota's healthy, I would love a chance.
Liz Carmouche, a pioneer, a Marine, and a world champion, has just publicly called out the most dangerous undefeated striker in the PFL, Dakota Ditcheva, and not quietly or respectfully, but openly at 135 pounds. Now, Dakota Ditcheva has fired back with a brutal response that makes one thing crystal clear. She isn't running, she isn't scared, and she isn't protecting her record.
Matchup and how she's looked and how big could that fight be?
Yeah, I think that's a great fight to happen. I think she's called for it. The fans have called for it. You can see it across Twitter where they're saying, like, one of the dream fights they want to see is White House, myself, and Dakota. And that's a huge bucket list item to be able to do, like, fight in front of the president in the White House. Like, who wouldn't want to do that? And I think that Dakota and I both have the skills and the excitement to bring it, to showcase everything everybody wants to see and make that the fight people see.
After winning the 2025 PFL tournament, Liz Carmouche didn't celebrate quietly. She aimed higher, calling out Dakota Ditcheva for a super fight and even floating the idea of a 135-pound bout, a brand new women's bantamweight division, and a potential fight at the White House that didn't sound like fantasy talk. This wasn't a random call-out. It was a veteran champion drawing a target. Carmouche is a former UFC title challenger, the first woman to ever fight Ronda Rousey, a former Bellator flyweight champion, and now the 2025 PFL tournament winner. She's also a U.S. Marine veteran with 3 Middle East tours, a fighter built on pressure, grit, and survival, who believes experience can beat perfection. Because Dakota Ditcheva isn't a prospect anymore. She's 15-0 and undefeated, the PFL Women's Flyweight World Champion, and one of the most violent Muay Thai strikers in MMA. Dakota doesn't win rounds, she ends fights. And Carmouche knows that, which is exactly why she's pushing the weight up to 135 pounds. That's strategy, not coincidence.
Liz makes sense because she won the belt, but I would take the Liz fight for sure. But we had PFL sign some girls from UFC, which I saw. So that would be very motivating for me to get in and fight them. I would love to maybe face off between.
When Dakota Ditcheva was asked about Liz Carmouche, she didn't laugh, dismiss it, or dodge the question. She welcomed the fight. And that's the brutal part. Dakota openly admitted she knows how big this matchup is, what Carmouche represents, and that it's a step into deep waters. That isn't fear, that's confidence without ego. This wouldn't be hype versus hype, it would be experience versus aggression, control versus pressure, survival versus destruction. Liz Carmouche drags fights into chaos, while Dakota Ditcheva creates chaos. Carmouche has survived legends, but Dakota has never been broken. Liz Carmouche fired the shot, and Dakota Ditcheva didn't flinch. So the real question isn't whether Dakota can handle Liz, it's whether experience can survive someone who refuses to play it safe. Because when undefeated fighters stop protecting records, legends get tested. And this story is only getting more dangerous. Stop scrolling, because the woman who fought Ronda Rousey in the first ever UFC women's fight, the Marine Corps warrior, the PFL queen Liz Carmouche, has just sent a deadly warning to Dakota Ditcheva, and this one hits different.
One of the dream fights they want to see is White House, myself, Dakota. And that's a huge bucket list item to be able to do, like, fight in front of the president in the White House. Like, who wouldn't want to do that? And I think that Dakota and I both have the skills and the excitement to bring it, to showcase everything everybody wants to see and make that.
Yeah, of course, I think Dakota's is a big name they're looking to get drawn against. She, having been the UK champion, I'm definitely excited to face her, and I think that she's a name that's starting to rise up through the ranks that people are knowing. So ultimately, facing her at some point, ideally in the finals, would really be.
Absolutely, she's for real. She wouldn't be here, if she hadn't achieved what she's been able to do. She wouldn't have won the belt in the UK if she wasn't the real deal. I think all the women that are here are top notch. I certainly think that her side of the bracket has been a very much more plush and easy go of it, as I have the toughest females, all with 12 or more fights, and she's getting girls with like 2 fights. She's finally facing somebody that has a closer record to what she should be experiencing. But even then, I don't think it's the matchup that's truly going to challenge her until she finally.
In her latest interview, Liz Carmouche didn't simply call out Dakota Ditcheva, she promised to destroy her. Her words were raw and unapologetic, warning Dakota that she was in serious trouble and vowing to break her, framing it as a personal challenge rather than a promotional stunt. There were no polite call-outs, no negotiations, just the tone of a Marine going to war.
I want to take the big chance. Oh! And Chef moves in and does take advantage of it. Not good. She has looked for the legs. That leg. You got that lead leg in the scanner. And again. The legs. Oh, that was. Referee Bryce out. The eliminator. Not forward, John, but unable to do much in that. And it's over. That well. Takes a step, she has all that.
If Dakota Ditcheva is dangerous, Liz Carmouche is battle-tested violence. A U.S. Marine Corps veteran with 3 tours in Iraq, the first woman to fight in UFC history against Ronda Rousey, a former Bellator champion, and the reigning 2025 PFL flyweight tournament champion. With 25 wins, 8 losses, and 11 knockouts, she carries elite finishing power. This is a woman who has been fighting longer than Dakota Ditcheva has been training. Liz Carmouche has just 1 PFL gold and pocketed her million. She could be relaxing on break, but she sees only one thing in her future: Dakota Ditcheva. Why? Because Dakota is undefeated at 15-0, the PFL's golden girl and the ultimate hype machine, and nothing motivates a Marine more than the chance to break a protected prospect.
Come here! Yeah, it's good. There! That's the eliminator. Not forward, John, but unable to do much in that. And it's over. That well. Takes a step, she has all that.
Stylistically, this fight is gunpowder meeting fire. Liz Carmouche's relentless wrestling pressure, heavy ground and pound, and battle-hardened fight IQ against Dakota Ditcheva's sniper-level striking, Muay Thai violence, and cold precision. One drags you into hell, the other switches your lights off.